Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We begin here at 4 o'clock with new concerns about violence after more than a dozen shootings in Indianapolis within just a few days.
Just this morning, police say 4 people were found shot on the near north side, just blocks from the Children's Museum.
Karen Campbell's been looking into this story today. She tells us how many shootings there have been and what community leaders say needs to change.
An alarming rise in gun violence in Indianapolis. 5 people shot and injured at 3 different crime scenes early Tuesday morning. 2 people were shot near Boulevard Place on the city's north side. 2 others injured near 38th and Capitol. Investigators trying to determine if those shootings are connected. Community leaders like Reverend Charles Harrison of the 10-Point Coalition say it's a troubling trend happening in communities across the city.
Years ago, the violence was concentrated in about 6 or 7, 8 hotspot areas in the city. Now it is so widespread, which makes it more difficult when you have a limited number of resources.
Since Friday evening, IMPD responded to 17 shootings. The red dots on this map show the locations of each one. At a recent Public Safety and Criminal Justice Committee meeting, IMPD Chief of Police Chris Bailey said this.
This city, this county needs well over 2,000 officers to properly patrol it in the way and protect it the way it deserves. We're talking 400 square miles.
IMPD did note an 8% drop in non-fatal shootings and a 12% decrease in shooting victims. Harrison points out a more pressing issue.
It's bigger than IMPD. It's bigger than the church community. It's a larger societal issue that we have to address as a society.
Helping people address their conflict. He says there is another issue community groups are finding.
There is another world out there beyond the time we're on the streets.
Meaning early morning or late night shootings.
That is a problem that we have to find a way to address when you even have more limited resources out there to try to address it when it's so widespread.
And to encourage the community that if they see something, say something to help prevent more violent crime in Indianapolis. Karen Campbell, 13 News.
Thank you, Karen. The man charged with killing a convention center worker appeared in court today. Brian Fulton pleaded not guilty. He's charged with murder in the death of Alan Gosnell. Fulton allegedly told police he attacked the victim last Wednesday because he worked for the CIA and was neutralizing a terrorist threat. Employees at the convention center helped police catch him. Fulton will be back in court November 19th.
A former student is in jail and a teacher is recovering after an attack at George Washington High School.
Harry Dickman was filling in for another teacher during his prep period when he was attacked on September 10th. Dickman says he was discussing a recent school football game when 19-year-old Aziz Mohamedou walked up from 3 rows back and hit him in the face. Dickman says he was knocked out.
When he collapsed to the floor, a student says Mohamedou allegedly started kicking Dickman in the ribs. Dickman eventually regained consciousness, got back up on his feet, and then told the student to leave the classroom. Police found Mohamedou in the principal's office. Dickman told 13 News he has a concussion and broken ribs.
And terrifying moments for an Indianapolis man hit by a car while riding his bike. The driver took off, but the cyclist caught it all on camera, and now he's pleading for the driver to come forward and turn themselves in. Let's take a look at that video here. This happened near Brookside Park on the southeast side. You can see Jacob Morales heading down Brookside Parkway. There it happens, right there.
Oof.
When that gold Chevy makes a left turn right in front of him, he reacts instinctively, giving up his body to hit the windshield, and then jumps off the car, lands on his feet. Now that windshield of the car is shattered, and that's the part that left Morales in shock. Even with that shattered windshield, the driver of that gold Chevy, we're told, never stopped or even slowed down to see if he was okay.
This person just did this to me, did not care at all to look where they were going, and it could have killed me.
He's fortunate. Wow. Bicyclist and pedestrian safety is something we've covered extensively here on 13 News. If you've been watching us regularly, you certainly know that. Just last month, the Indy pedestrian safety crisis reported more than 100 pedestrians hit by cars here just last month. 7 of them died.
Okay, there's an ongoing issue there we'll continue to follow. Let's switch it up, get to weather. Sean Ash here. He's been tracking these beautiful days. We haven't been giving him much work to do because it's just been 80.
I'm just going to throw this over into your lap.
We just need to hit
rewind
and then hit play again. We can redo yesterday.
You know, and at this point, we start searching way out to see if there's any hope of a pattern shift.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe this time next week, but in
Okay.
between now and then, if you like what we've had the last several days, Felicia,
I know.
Lots of sun.
you're gonna like what we have.
I'm
At
in
least
heaven.
it's been comfortable
It
overnight.
has, and that's key, and that's key, guys. I mean, seriously, when the sun sets, and even in the afternoon when it's in the middle and upper 80s, I mean, it's still comfortable. This is not real muggy heat because of how dry that it's been. 86 degrees here in Indy, almost at 90 in Shelbyville. It's an east-northeast wind. Someone asked me, how come we're still warm with a wind direction like that? We still have a September sun angle, and the dry soils heat up quickly, and that's what's going on again today. The low to mid 80s over the northern third of the state as well. So everyone in the sunshine, as we talked about yesterday, just a few clouds far southeast Indiana. There's been a few sprinkles. This is all from that tropical system, that the core of which remains well to the southeast of us. We talked about the formidable opponent that it was going to run into over Indiana, and that is the dry air. Dew points about as low as they get for this time of year, 30s and 40s. So exceptionally dry air that's in place right now. Here in Indy, you take that 86 degree temperature, team it up with a 47 degree dew point, you get 26% on the humidity here. So comfortable evening, sunset at 7:49. We are advertising a clear sky for the supermoon. And usually the supermoon lives up to its name. It appears about 30% larger in the sky due to the closer proximity to Earth. Now the partial lunar eclipse, I don't want to be Debbie Downer on this. It is just going to be a very slim sliver, about 7 to 8% of the moon will be covered up by the Earth's shadow. That will occur from about 10:12 to 11:15. Get out and enjoy.
All right, Sean, we will do just that. Here's your check of traffic at 4:07 this Tuesday afternoon. This is the north split that we're looking at. This looks like it's headed into I-65. There's like a merge that happens there. And as we can see, there is a slowdown heading to that merge. And we are trying to figure out what exactly is going on right there. We're going to look a little bit further into this, but just so you know, there is a slowdown of 69, 70 heading into I-65 south. So this is a look at the north split. We'll keep an eye on things and keep you posted. Well, today is National Voter Registration Day.
All right, so here are a couple of dates to keep in mind. The final day to register to vote in Indiana is 29 days before an election. That means the deadline for this year's general election is coming up Monday, October the 7th.
The general election takes place on Tuesday, November 5th. The polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Election Day, and you can register online at indianavoters.in.gov.
Make sure your voice is heard. The Indiana Democratic Party is calling on Purdue University to make voting available again on campus for November's election. In the past, Purdue and the county gave students that opportunity, but Tippecanoe County took away the location, claiming Purdue facilities don't meet statutory requirements for a polling site. Our Jenny Runovich is in West Lafayette today looking into the story. We're going to hear from her and what she's learned tonight, starting on 13 News at 5. And 13 News wants to know what you care about most this election. Which issues are most important to you? Just scan the code on your screen right now, or you can go to WTHR.com/vote to take our voter survey. Tell us which issues will decide your vote coming up in November.
It's that time. All right, we continue. Pike High School students will get a chance to see due process in action. The Indiana State Court of Appeals will hold oral arguments in an actual case at Pike High School, and it's on the case of Russell v. State. This case focuses on the appeal of a drug dealing and possession case out of Jennings County. The students will be able to see both sides. They're going to argue this case, and it's going to happen next Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning. This is part of the State Appeals Court Appeals on Wheels program.
What a fascinating way to learn.
I know, they do this every year, and I always appreciate seeing that. All right, so what do you get when you put a book fair and you put a football together? Well, today you get the Colts at a local elementary school.
Another cool opportunity. The Colts held a book fair and football camp at Clarence Farrington School 61 up on the northwest side. Students got to shop for 2 free books. They enjoyed some reading time, plus a photo op and autographs with Colts cheerleaders.
We love this event every year. Reading is so important to kiddos and getting books that are their own, right, that they get to take home and continue to read after they leave school. But we know that reading is kind of the foundation for everything, not just in school, but in life. And then, getting to play with football players and learn skills and drills and run around with players who are do this every day for a living is just a really cool thing to let kids have that experience.
That's wonderful.
Sure is, yeah.
And you tire the kids out.
That's right.
So they also got to do non-contact drills at today's football camp. They were aimed at increasing knowledge, language, and technique among a variety of fundamental skills.
Teachers and parents appreciate it too.
Yeah, see, I'm not new here.